What do you know about concussions, Dr. Martinez? Can you tell kids about concussions?
They can affect your brain a lot.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And more and more of them.
What is a concussion
Whoa.
and how do you get it?
It's an injury when you like hit your head so hard.
Yeah.
Wow, that's right. And if you hit your head a lot, it can hurt your brain, right?
Yes.
Brain rattles around in there, literally, I think it
It
does.
hurts your brain structure.
Yeah.
Wow, yes, it does hurt your brain structure, Dr. Martinez.
I wonder, Dr. Trinh and Dr. Martinez, on a very serious note, when I was a kid, very few people played soccer. I grew up in the Midwest. Everybody played baseball in the summer and football in the winter. And I was crazy about, I didn't really play other than fooling around, but everybody loved football. I don't know many parents that put their kids into football anymore. Not because they don't love football, because they're worried about concussions.
That's a good point.
I wonder how that's going to affect the sport going forward. They've tried to make it safer. They've tried to come up with tons of rules so people don't get hurt as often. But I wonder if kids are staying away from football and 10, 20 years from now, you're going to see less football players. What do you think?
Yeah, Dr. Martinez agrees.
Yeah. So how about soccer, though? Soccer, you can get your head hurt. You got to bounce, hit the ball with your head and everything here. That's part of the game. No helmet.
I'm actually going to be playing in the Junior Olympics in Irvine.
Whoa.
Whoa.
The Junior Olympics.
That sounds impressive. What are you going to be playing?
Mostly track and field.
Oh, you like running?
Yeah.
He said that earlier. He's a runner. We had somebody on a show the other day. Maybe we could have him on Dr. Trinch. He might find this interesting. I hadn't thought about this. He is an ultra runner. I don't know if either of you know what that is. They run a minimum of 100-mile races. 100. It takes a day or so. They run for 24 hours. They stop along the way, rest a little bit, and they keep running. 100-mile runs.
Wow.
I've heard of them.
Have you? Yeah, it's amazing what these people can do. And there are cultures around the world. You said you like different people and different cultures. I believe there's a culture in the rural mountains of Mexico, an indigenous tribe. I know there's one in somewhere in Africa, Kenya or something, because they have to cover long distances across the hilltops and the mountains, and that they don't have cars and everything else, so they learn at a very early age to run so they can move from mountain to mountain, from village to village, and they grow up running extreme. They train their body to run really long runs on a regular basis.
Wow.
That's what these ultra runners kind of try and do. They'll run 100 miles run.
Wow. I can drive 100 miles.
Yeah, most people, if you run 5 miles or a 5K marathon or something, that's an amazing feat for most people. They run 100 miles.
How much running do you do, Dr. Martinez? How often do you run?
Kind of often.
Like
Sometimes.
every day or every other day?
Actually, technically every day because I'm always running at school because I have to get to one part of the school, go back, and run to the other part of the school.
Can't waste time if you're Dr. Martinez. He's on a schedule here. He's got a lot to accomplish, and he's already used up 10 years, so he's got to get going. Are you in a race to get somewhere, Dr. Martinez? Are you in a race with time? Do you feel like, I don't have enough time, I got a million things I want to do?
Yeah, I feel like I don't have enough time because every day I have to bring my instrument to the music room, which is in the very back of the school, so I have to run around because sometimes my school starts at 8:10, but I just run. I sometimes get there at like 8 o'clock, and then I'm running to the back of the school, and it's already like 8:05. So when I get to the music room, I'm running back, and then the bell rings, and I'm freaking out. So I start running to my line, and I'm just terrified.
That's amazing.
He's in a race with time here. What did you do when COVID shut school down, Dr. Martinez? What was that like?
I just went on the Zoom. COVID started right as first grade was ending.
Wow.
So when I went into second grade, it was all virtual for the entire year. And when I finally got into third grade, I felt I had a fresh start.
Oh, a fresh start is good. Wow. You felt like you lost some of your schooling opportunity because of COVID, huh?
Yes, a lot.
That's okay. You're going to catch up on that, right? That's right. Wow. So, Dr. Martinez, there's a lot of things have gone up in price lately. We call that inflation, you know?
Yes.
Everything's gone up. Like, what happened? Why did things go up in price? Do you know why things were so costly?
Well, I think it could be that they were running out of supplies to make those things.
That's a good point. Like a supply chain problem.
Yeah.
And how do you think we can fix that?
I don't think we really need all that stuff because we're just wasting things on that stuff where we could make things like that except with using less materials so we have more materials in store for something that's going to happen later in the future.
Can we quote you on that? Because that's wisdom. We don't need all that stuff. That's not what everybody, my grandson watches YouTube and they constantly watch influencers. He watches people opening presents or doing things or buying things. And every time he watches it, he turns to me and he says, I got to have that. I want that. I want that game. I want that sneaker. I want that toy. And you're saying we don't need all that?
Yes.
There it is. Would you talk to my grandson? Tell him he doesn't need all that? Okay. All right. I'm
Great,
going to bring him in
yeah.
for a consultation here. I'm going to bring him in for a visit.
Consultation with Dr. Martinez.
Yeah.
Yeah. We live on too much stuff.
Yes. Oh, too much stuff.
Yeah. And that's a very good point, Dr. Martinez.